pleasure of having Professor Samarth with us. Professor Samarth is currently at Ahmedabad University. He has a PhD in economics from Boston University. He has had many publications. He's been with the NCAER also before this, and he's here to introduce his college to you, inform you about the offerings at Ahmedabad University, so that you can take an informed decision about choosing to apply there or not. Also, the important factor being that Ahmedabad University is accepting CUET PG scores for their admission. So, Professor Samar, thank you so much for taking out the time and telling us what is happening at Ahmedabad University with regards to MA Economics.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation, and thank you everybody for joining. I know these are anxious times. You have just probably appeared for CUET, or maybe you're appearing, planning for the future. So yes, I would like to introduce Ahmedabad University in this presentation. I have a short, brief presentation. I don't want to bore anybody to death. I would like to rather answer many questions that you might have. But just bear with me, and we'll just be on our way. Okay. Yeah. So usually when I start these kind of presentation, I start with the boring stuff that we are this university, we have this program structure, etc. But I feel, I would rather start by asking a few questions to students, since they're preparing for masters. Just a second. Some research questions in a way. That's what a lot of economics is about, especially masters. So have you ever wondered how to apply text analysis to specifically understand gender bias in job application and advertising? If you really wanted to apply machine learning, take these very unstructured advertisements and extract data from that. Did you ever feel that you wish you could use satellite data to understand the extent of misallocation in agriculture in India? For example, is a land particularly useful for agriculture? If it is devoted to rice growing, could it have been used better somewhere else? Did you ever feel you want to conduct experiments to understand who becomes a leader, what are the good traits of a leader, or what are the traits of a good leader? If you wanted to understand experimental economics, behavioral economics. And did you ever want to, you saw all these news on in the newspaper everywhere about impact of COVID in urban economies, etc. Did you ever feel how are these surveys designed? What goes behind them? How to actually navigate these difficult questions? If so, then I suggest that this is the place for you. If you are interested in, and this is not just about research. This is about learning a mental toolkit to understand complex questions. So who are we? What is Ahmedabad University? Ahmedabad University is a research university, and the faculty's primary focus is to pursue state-of-the-art research. The teaching load is kept low. Now, in this, where do you belong? Why should you join some university where the focus is research? Because our ideals, our notions have forced us to introduce rigor in teaching, targeted for research and policy. In fact, I truly believe that it's only in research university, and I don't want to look down upon anybody, but only in research university that teaching in rigor or rigor in teaching can be introduced. Right? We already have a strong undergraduate program, but that's not enough for us. I'll tell you how many faculty members we have. It's growing at a very rapid pace, but we are all very desperately looking for good PG students. So it's a newish PG program that we have, who we can train in research and who can then assist us in these kind of activities, right? So some logistics about the program. Standard things like it's a 2-year fully residential program. The first year, as it happens in many cases, it's just core courses: micro, macro, maths, statistical methods, econometrics, and as opposed to many other programs, it's an MA economics program, but the focus is very into MSc of economics. One of the core courses would be machine learning for policy. There is an internship between first and second year. So first year is all about these core courses. And then second year is where a lot of these electives are taught, right? And we have an option of specializing in finance. That's just some baggage that is there. But then the question is, why MA economics at Ahmedabad University? What is so appealing as opposed to everything else? As I mentioned, if you really want to introduce rigor in teaching, it comes mainly from these elective courses. You'll see many programs, but then the course bouquet that you have is very inflexible. We are trying to keep it as flexible as possible. There is very little, restriction on offering electives for us. There are these foundational courses such as game theory, machine learning, time series econometrics, but very field specific courses as well, like industrial organization, market design, political economy. So if you're interested in understanding regulations of airports, if you think about how airports are regulated, that is where industrial organization comes in. And these people, these skills are used in Competition Commission of India. They offer a lot of these internships. Uh, other things. So how do we maintain this rigor? I'm using this word too much, but what does it really mean? Our main focus is to keep our student-teacher ratio low. We already have 14 faculty members. This might increase to 16 in the coming months before the next term starts. But the target student strength that we are thinking of for our MA Economics is 20. And as just was mentioned, we already have 10 students. We are looking for 10 more. For many students, these several pre-doc and internship opportunities are available. This is mainly for preparing students for doctoral studies, but not just that. Students engage. To give you some examples of where students have engaged. We have Professor Jimo Lunni, who designed the survey in consultation with students at Ahmedabad University. Professor Pallavi Vyas's work with the World Bank. She engaged a lot of students to study gender norms in Gujarat. She conducted a lot of surveys, and that required a lot of objective thinking. So my own work has been on estimating financial potential of villages in India, and for that again I utilized the services of students. I should mention at this moment, since we have a strong UG program, we were forced to utilize the services of UG students, but that's not what we want, right? So we want to make sure that the value addition is higher and higher, and that requires a good, strong PG program. Now, many of you may wonder, I'm talking too much about research. Many of you may be interested in placements in analytics firms and consulting firms. Now, it's not true that we are only focused on research. We have a dedicated career development cell, very active. In fact, it's not simply that they become active at the very end of the term. I was in Delhi School of Economics, and placement cell was something that just became active the last few months. This is active throughout the year. Every Monday, they hold classes with students for aptitude tests to inform about opportunities. And it's almost like another course taught to students to hone their marketing skills, to market themselves. We have tie-ups with NSE and several fintech firms who are looking actively for economists. In fact, in many of these interviews, I've seen NSE especially asking for econometric skills. That is where only MA economics student, not even MBA or MSQF, have an edge. And I've also found, so after DSC, I worked in Deloitte and policy consulting. Some of my friends went to analytics firms. They're still there. I found that most firms, they also look for technical skills. So it's not as if research and this placement, they are substitutes. In fact, they feed into good research skills will feed into your placement opportunities, because firms are looking for these technical skills. And again, they're best taught through a research-based program. So in the last few years, although it's a newish program, we've managed to place our students in CMI, NSE, some consulting groups. Many of our students are from Gujarat, so they have a preference to stay in Ahmedabad. But as our pool becomes diverse, already in our 10 students, we can see they're from all over the country. And we'll start seeing them getting placed in all over the country. The selection process is quite simple. If you are convinced so far, let me tell you that we have an admission test, but we also accept CUET score. So if somebody is not happy with their CUET score, wants another shot, they can appear for an entrance test. If you're happy with your CUET score, you can share that, and that will be part of the selection process. Test scores and past academic records are used to shortlist students for interview. So it's all followed by an interview process. And I'm guessing most of you are probably training for MA economics, so many of you would know basic mathematical skills and economic skills. But to let you know about the format of the entrance test. So once you apply, you'll get a sample entrance test, which is basically a basic maths aptitude and a domain knowledge section with basic advanced economics and advanced mathematics. Right? So that's very standard. And now, one may think that being a private research university, it would be very expensive. And our headline fees is actually 2.5 lakhs per annum. But there's very straight away, some students get, not all students get a scholarship. Along with that, there is teaching assistantship available. So your net fees comes out to be 1.25 lakh per annum, right? It's 2.5 lakh aggregate. So it's more like a 50% merit or duty-based scholarship straight away. And the criteria is very simple. It's not that you have to go through hoops and loops to get the scholarship. Now, to answer those questions, if you want to understand and learn text analysis, we have Professor Sugat Chaturvedi, who's actually used this in his thesis. You can learn from him. If you want to know how to use satellite data and understand research questions, policy questions like misallocation, agriculture, structural transformation, we have Professor Rahul Rao. You can learn from him. Conducting experiments, Professor Momita Rao is already an expert who has leading publications and leading journals. And finally, Professor Jimo Lunni is already a stalwart in labor economics in India. She's done multiple rounds of surveys, and it would be great for you to learn from her as well.
So then what is the average salary package that, how old is the program? You said it's new, but exactly how old is it? And, if you can, whatever is whatever the students are paying as fee, they would like to also know that on average, what companies are coming to Ahmedabad University? Like, what's their expectation? What are they willing to pay for students, who've done the program at Ahmedabad University?
Absolutely, very, very fair question. So yeah, the program by itself is, the current program is nearly 3 years old, but it's getting into a revamp. We are introducing, a new program structure altogether. So that's the first answer. The second question about placement, average packages, etc. Even though it's only 3 year old and we had this old program structure, the average packages so far have been 9 lakh per annum. And the kind of companies that are coming are, we have this tie-up with NSE, CMI, Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, many fintech firms in Gift City. Many of these firms are already located in Gujarat, like Adani. They do come. In fact, Adani Ports and Logistics, I think they hire a lot of students from MBA, but we see a lot of their interest moving towards econ students as well. Then there's also Arvind Mills. Maybe students would not know that, because students usually know brand. But Arvind Mills are these big textile firms, and they do hire a lot of these MA Econ students as well, or a lot of research firms. There's ATIRA, which is Ahmedabad Textile Industrial Research Association, which does a lot of work on textile research, but they are looking at market exploration, etc. So they hire a lot of MA Econ students as well. So that way is, I think, it's only 3 years old, but we can and so far many placements have been in Gujarat because student body has been very Gujarat. So they want to stay in Gujarat. But as students come from diverse background from all over the country, that will not be a limitation.
And sir, I mean, can the students expect 100% placement? Do you think that is something that the university is aiming for?
Oh, absolutely. So let me tell you, so the CDC is new. I think they've managed to, in the last 2 years, managed to somehow get 100% internship placements, right? So placements, because the program has been small so far, we can say, yes, the placements have been 100%, but then the absolute numbers would not do justice to that. Right. Since we are expanding the program, I would like to say that, with some confidence that, yes, we would be able to have 100% placements. Okay. So, and sir,
a student has written to me that how to get teaching assistantship. Will there be research assistantship? Andesha has asked that. You could address it to her.
Yeah. So teaching assistantship, it's one of the components. Straight away, you can be a TA, and that gives away, takes off some of the fee. Research assistantship are based on basically demands coming from faculty members themselves. So we have something called the UGRP. It's meant for undergraduate research program, but there can be a very analogous PGRP, postgraduate research program. So in that 3-month internship that you have to do, instead of going out doing some internship somewhere, you can join one of the faculty members' team to do some research there, and get paid alongside. Obviously, corporate internships pay more than academic research internships, right? So RA-ships can happen, but only in second year and by the time you're in your 4th semester when you start doing your thesis. Right. Yeah.
And sir, what about PhD placements? Like, has the university seen good PhD placements after the master's program?
So one of our students this year, his name is Ninad Desai. He's doing his work in energy economics. And I think he'll be joining. So Ahmedabad University has its own center of energy and environment. So he'll be joining that first as a pre-doc, and then probably moving into a PhD position directly. So right now, most students that we have not expressed an interest. The current student body has not expressed an interest to do PhD straight away. But I should mention that from our undergrad student body, we have managed to place them in very good universities abroad, and I don't see that being a problem for master's students. If a student is well trained, which is our responsibility, we can manage to. We have enough faculty strength to place that student to good PhD programs abroad and in India as well.
All right, sir. Sounds good. And sir, one more thing, the students are asking that what kind of faculty interaction? I mean, it's a very small batch. Even if it is 20 students, the batch strength stays very small. So, is the faculty also on campus and the students are also on campus? So would that give a lot of time for faculty interaction of the students?
I see. So we are a city-based university. We don't have, there's no faculty housing. So in the same campus, it's not like faculty and students are staying. Students have their own housing. Faculty, of course, lives wherever they live in the city. But students stay in the university. We like to say that your classes will be from 8 to 8. The classes are scheduled from 8 to 8. But students can walk in anytime. I don't think there's been that much of an issue where students have found it difficult to target, locate faculty, and struggle to meet them. So it's never like that. But yeah, total 20 seats are there, and 10 of them have been filled already. So we have 10 seats left. There are places which have right now bigger brand than us. But why should you choose our university? I would say look at the program structure, look at the faculty strength, go to the website and compare it. I could sit with these students for an hour, but I'll not be able to match the branding. I just have to admit. But all I can say is before you make up your mind that what is this place called Ahmedabad University, take a look take your own time, do your own research. When is the entrance for Ahmedabad University? How much should be the cutoff? I should mention that first we take CUET scores. If you have them, we'll of course evaluate them, weigh them. If not, you can always the way it works is we take a composite of all the elements together. So your 10th, 12th, your 12th and your undergraduate degree, your score in CUET or an entrance test, and then interview. The entrance test, once you apply, I think an entrance test would be conducted within 2 weeks. So we do it in rounds, right? So if you apply tomorrow, in the next 2 weeks or in 10 days, you'll get the chance to appear for the entrance test.
So the building which we saw,
That's the campus.
so this is the entire campus, and this building is School of Art and Sciences. This building where my cursor is, this is School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. This building, the back of School of Art and Science is Amrut Modi School of Management. This is East Campus where our BBA, BCom classes happen. This is also Amrut Modi School of Management. This building is called University Center. It has on the ground floor we have different cafeterias. First floor we have reprography center, health center, then different activity rooms for the students. We have around 18 to 20 clubs. They have offices on the first and the second floor. Third floor we have multi-purpose hall. So it can be 600 people sitting in an auditorium, can be converted into one full basketball court or converted into a 5 court of badminton. And then this building has squash, table tennis, gymnasium, career development center, which looks into placements and internship. On the top floor, we have jogging tracks. So this is University Center, a cricket ground here, a football ground at the back of this building. And we are coming up with School of Public Health. So this empty area there, we will have a School of Public Health. And next year, we are also planning to come up with the School of Performing in Visual Arts. So These are the 5 schools, and then we have centers like Center for Inter-Asian Research, Center for Learning Futures, Center for Heritage Management. Then we have Venture Studio, which is our own incubation center. So these are there are different centers which also offers courses to the students. This is the North Campus, and the campus is in the middle of Ahmedabad city. Right.
Yeah, everyone. So it looked a very nice campus, futuristic. The schools that you were talking about also, it looks like it's all geared towards the next generation. So that was very nice to see. All right, sir. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much, Abhishek sir and Samarth sir, for being here.